Republican Senator Marco Rubio continues to say things that he doesn't quite understand. And really, that has been a hallmark of Marco Rubio's entire political career. As I repeatedly say, I genuinely believe he is the dumbest human being serving in the United States Senate today. He truly is. Like, this man couldn't rub two brain cells together to start a fire if his life depended on it. So Rubio puts out an op-ed in the New York Post where he laments all this wokeness with corporations, but he accidentally makes a point that makes him sound a lot more like a democratic socialist than a hardcore anti-woke Republican. Here's what he said. No policymaker would allow a company to dump toxic waste into a river upstream of a thriving town he's in charge of governing. It's just not good public policy. Yet corporate America eagerly dumps woke, toxic nonsense into our culture, and it's only gotten more destructive with time. These campaigns will be met with the same strength that any other polluter should expect. Marco Rubio, welcome to the resistance, I guess. You're absolutely right. We should be imposing strict penalties on these polluters. You got that dead on, dude. Welcome. Glad to have you on our side on that fight. In terms of the wokeness for corporations, that's stupid, right? I personally don't care that these corporations are finally waking up and realizing that they do kind of have to make a stand. I'm actually glad they are. I don't say I don't care. I don't care that it pisses off Republicans is what I don't care about. But I also don't care if Marco Rubio fulfills the other part of his pledge here to repeal their tax breaks, to come down on them hard when they break the law. Like, those are good things, Marco. You're right. And those, of course, are things that the democratic socialists in this country have been pushing for a very long time. And that's why I say he starts to sound more like a democratic socialist than a anti-woke Republican, because he's talking about doing the things that need to be done to rein in these corporations. Because even though some of them, sure, are speaking out about repressive voting laws, you know, they're taking away racist symbols that they had at Disney World, cool. These are still pretty crappy corporations. And they need to have their tax cuts revoked. Right? We need that income to help do things in this country that benefit the majority of the public, not a handful of corporations. And back to your pollution metaphor, Marco, you're the kind of guy who still says you don't know if climate change is real or not because, quote, I'm not a scientist, man. You've never done anything about pollution. You've never done anything about climate change. So if you want to start doing that too, hell yeah, brother. I'm right there with you. That's what I love about all of these Republicans attacking these corporations, because the attacks they're levying on them are things the rest of us have been saying need to happen forever. Repeal their tax cuts, start enforcing the rules, stop giving them special treatment. You can't limit their free speech though, right? That's what you want to do. That's what you really want to do. But all of this, whatever, let them fight. A lot of folks on the left have written articles about Rubio's article, and they've said, oh, this is extortion. He's threatening these corporate. I don't care. Let it happen. Because the things he's actually proposing to do to these corporations are the correct things, albeit for the wrong reasons. And his punishment on these corporations, I firmly do not believe, are going to have the consequences that he believes they are. The consequences are going to be that these corporations still do what they do, responding to public pressure. 2, they're going to stop giving money to Republicans. And 3, Republicans, pissed off, are going to start enforcing the rules on them and making them pay their fair share in taxes. So I ask you this. What's the downside? Because all of that sounds pretty awesome to me.